Last year, we processed $2.4 quadrillion worth of securities. We're very focused on blockchain and the cross-chain interoperability like CCIP.
CCIP is a global messaging standard that allows different chains to connect into a single Internet of contracts.
The blockchain will help you accelerate the processes of transactions.
We think it's very important.
Now there's a huge demand for tokenized real-world assets.
More tokenization of assets and securities could revolutionize finance.
Every bank's going to have its own chain. Every bank's going to have its own stable coin.
We don't need custodians anymore.
Just like TCP/IP formed the internet out of multiple different internet technologies, CCIP combines multiple blockchain technologies into a single Internet of contracts.
Currencies will live across different chains and other assets of value represented through tokens.
The industry is ready for tokenization. They also recognize the fact that CCIP is the most secure way in which they can perform that. They can actually move their assets from Web 2 to Web 3.
The demand for CCIP is palpable.
These institutions are realizing for these ecosystems to work, you need CCIP to connect all of these different workflows to make capital markets work in a more efficient way.
So what is CCIP, right? What is Chainlink? And what we're going to go over today is probably the best opportunity I've ever seen in crypto and investment in general, right? So what you need to know is the biggest business on earth is the business of money. And that's been disrupted. It's been disrupted for a while now, but now you're getting a technology that the whole global financial system, the traditional financial system, Wall Street, Wall Street need for things to work, right? They're adopting this new technology, and that's why I'm so big on it, right? And a lot of people missed out on an opportunity. They missed out on Bitcoin. They missed out on Ethereum. Those things are up, 100x from here. And you question, what else could I be in? What else could I invest in my financial situation? If you got in early, you'd be in a better financial situation. And this is the first time that you see a technology that actually does work, that the world is actually adopting. And we're going to get into that. In the show notes, we have Citibank just published a massive report on cross-chain interoperability on Chainlink. And we're going to get into that. First, I want to read a couple things. Let's throw up let's get the visuals up here. I want to read a couple things. From the World Economic Forum. You guys are familiar with the World Economic Forum, and basically what they've been saying here is, first off, think about this. In 2020, the World Economic Forum recognized Chainlink as the top 100 most promising technology. This was back in 2020, so they've been doing this for a while. There's also a white paper on interoperability, which is basically what CCIP is. That the World Economic Forum came out with, again, in the show notes, right? And so basically what they're saying is there's $867 trillion of assets that will be on the blockchain, that will be tokenized. BlackRock's already talked about this. So this is the opportunity. How does that connect for you, right? How does that connect for you? So this is the biggest players on earth coming out, basically showing you their hand, telling you what they're going to do. And it's not mainstream yet. So you have an opportunity here to really invest in it. This is the World Economic Forum too. And this is back when they were talking about decentralization and oracles. And we're going to go over what oracles are. And the main goal of these oracle networks, these decentralized networks, is to retrieve external data and validate it that it's true, right? They don't have this type of messaging system in the current financial system. They don't have this. This doesn't exist. So instead of creating it themselves, they're betting basically on Chainlink. They're basically betting on Chainlink. Okay. Next, Swift, right? You guys know who Swift is. Swift is the global payments processing system. It is the largest network for financial services today, by the way, largest network today. And they say basically 97% of institutions want to tokenize assets. And this is going to revolutionize the asset management business, right? The depository. So the DTCC, this one is very interesting. So stick with me here. Let's see if I can get this out here so you guys can read this. You can Google this too, who DTCC is. You can Google who this is. That's who was in the video. They processed $2 quadrillion of assets last year, and they are using Chainlink. They're using the CCIP network. And who is DTCC? I'm telling you, this is mainstream. This is the World Economic Forum. This is the central banks this is a technology they need for things to advance for them, right? DTC is a member of the US Federal Reserve System and a registered clearing agency with the Securities and Exchange Commission. So they work with they work with the central banks, right? They're telling you their hand, they're telling you what they're going to invest in as far as the infrastructure, what they need. And we think that technology, we don't think, they are literally using it. They've had conferences for the past month. You see the price of Chainlink go up while the overall market continues to sell off. And there's a reason for that, because again, like I said, this is a huge breakthrough here. Now, here's some more of what they said earlier this week or last week, I think, basically pointing out that Chainlink, right? They're going to be able to bring on their assets. Remember, they processed $4 quadrillion of assets last year, and now they're talking about moving those assets on chain, on the blockchain. There's private, there's public, and we're going to go over that, to using Chainlink, right? This is the technology that you have an opportunity to invest in, that the central banks are telling you what they're going to do. Why? It mitigates risks, increases transparency, enhances the performance of their system, of their current financial system, right? We're not done yet. We're not done yet. You also have Citibank just came out and tokenized, right? Citibank, some of you guys might be familiar with Citibank. They just came out, tokenized their assets, tokenized their deposits, and what that was is a service that allows Citi to issue tokens that represent the deposits of their citizens, right? Represents the deposits held at the bank using blockchain technology. Well, you know what they're using? There's a whole white paper, link in the show notes. If you're on YouTube, it's literally outlining what they're doing. They're using CCIP. They're using Chainlink here. Okay, so the tokenization narrative is real. It's coming. And then here's some of the benefits from that, right? Here's some more benefits from Citi. What they published this work. This just got published. And what they're saying is basically, with this new network, with the ability to move assets on chain, they expect to reduce the transaction processing time from days to minutes. From days to minutes, right? You cut costs. It's faster. It's cheaper. It's better. Also, the Bank of America said back in the day, right? This was like 2020. Bank of America said Chainlink is likely the driver of all DeFi, of all crypto, of all decentralized finance. It is likely going to be Chainlink that drives this, right? That's another one to think about. That's Bank of America. In 2021, former CEO of Google, Eric Schmidt, you can look this up. He came out of retirement from Google to join Chainlink Labs to help them to supervise or advise their operations, right? So you get major players coming out, and then you have a major bank in Australia. Let me throw this up so you guys can see it. These are all the institutions that are currently using CCIP to tokenize their assets, to move them across chains, to make things a little more efficient, right? So this major bank, let me see, which one is it? ANZ. You see ANZ on there, right? Let me see, ANZ. So this is it right here. ANZ, and these are all of them. DTC, BNY Mellon, Citigroup. These are major institutions, right? Major financial institutions. And the Bank of ANZ just adopted Chainlink CCIP. This is over in Australia, and they said it's likely the most widely used crypto of all cryptos, right? That for the cross-chain interoperability. So again, you think about CBDCs in general. When you think of CBDC, central bank digital currencies, guess what? Guess what they have to use? CCIP. They have to use Chainlink's technology. And we're not even talking about crypto here. We're just specifically talking about the traditional financial system, which is the biggest system by far. We're not even talking about crypto. Inside of crypto uses the most assets. But what I'm going to do is leave that to my brother, a software engineer here that we're going to bring on to talk about what CCIP a little more in depth. He is a software engineer. He's definitely more versed at this than I am. Let's see if we can get this. All right, there we go. So we're going to talk about this. And first question I kind of have, after we go through the questions, if you guys do have questions, throw them over to the YouTube. Go on YouTube, ask your questions so they stick. This is a new technology. This is transformational. And this is probably the best investment opportunity I've ever seen as far as a long term, right? As far as long term. And you're getting backed by SWIFT. You're getting backed by basically the World Economic Forum here, right? And before price explodes, we will go over the technicals after the questions. So first thing, Isaiah, it's my brother Isaiah, by the way. He is probably the smartest person I know in real time, right? You know, people on TV, he's probably the smartest I know. That's actually a real person, right? That I don't just watch. And he helps me to understand how these technologies, how blockchain and how these systems work. He's Amazon AWS certified, and we can go into all that. He built our system, by the way, for where we have our emails, where we're gonna have where we have our we're gonna have a lot of stuff. Okay, he's building on it. All right, so real quick, we want to know that what is the difference between when you think about Ethereum, when you think about Bitcoin, you think about XRP. I think those are the most popular cryptos right now. Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, they're all a little different. What is the difference between XRP, Chainlink versus Bitcoin first?
Yeah, for sure. The main thing is Chainlink and Bitcoin work differently because Bitcoin, all it is it's a distributed ledger, meaning it can show value in a database and show that you either have something or you don't have something. It allows trade. So sending money back and forth, that's what Bitcoin does at the end of the day. It's scarce, it has it's a source of value. It's simply that, and that's all it's used for, and that's what gives it value at the end of the day. Where Chainlink is much different. It's not a ledger. It's not a blockchain. What it does is it allows us to have guaranteed truth in a decentralized manner. So it allows us to say a fact about the world, a fact about a money, a fact about an account, a fact about an asset, in a decentralized manner where we can say, okay, it is 80 degrees today, or okay, there was, someone played their Spotify playlist 1,000 times, or this bank account has this much money. It allows us to just give truth to anything at a given time from a decentralized manner, where Bitcoin's just having value, having money, just sending money back and forth, and we can prove it. Chainlink proves anything, can prove anything about the world, and that's what Chainlink does as a company or as a startup, is have decentralized oracles that prove something. And then did you want me to compare Ethereum to that?
Let's go with XRP. We got some XRPers here.
Oh, XRP. I forgot about XRP. Yeah. My bad. XRP. So XRP, what XRP does is it allows cross-border payments. So what XRP is trying to do is they're trying to be the decentralized SWIFT. So they want to allow you to send payments across the world, in a fast manner that's decentralized, and be a settlement layer for the world where we can send money back and forth. Basically, decentralized SWIFT is what XRP is trying to do. They're just like Bitcoin. They're a ledger, but they're faster. It's much faster, and that's the main benefit is they work directly with banks. Banks can send money back and forth across the world and use XRP rather than using SWIFT, or rather than the world using a central standard that's centralized. They're like, hey, use a central standard that's decentralized. It's just like a faster Bitcoin, just a ledger.
And just to capitalize on that really quick, check this out. This was some of the research from Citibank showing that actually there is some adoption of XRP, the XRP ledger, right? Digital ledger technology. These are basically CBDCs being built, right? These are coming. They're not coming. I know people get upset about central bank digital currency. They really have no clue how it works. Do some research on it first. It's inevitable. It is inevitable. The financial system will change. And I just want to point out, there is some XRP. Who does this? Baton? I don't even know who that is. It sounds like a Middle Eastern country. They're using the XRP ledger. Australia is using Ethereum, Quorum. I don't even know who that is. Who you got? Hyperledger, Fabric. So you have all these countries: Australia, Bahamas, Brazil, Canada, China, Hong Kong, France, India, Nigeria, Japan. They're all registering for central bank digital currencies, by the way. So that's inevitable. Now, Chainlink, I guess you can look at. So basically, Chainlink and XRP are not the same things, correct?
No. Where XRP it allows you to send payments, but it's it keeps the record of those payments, just like Bitcoin. So I send money, from Australia to Ghana. That money is in a ledger somewhere. It's sent from one ledger to another. But their benefit is we're fast. We can integrate with your banking system, but the settlement layer is on XRP. The blockchain layer is on XRP itself, where CCIP, Chainlink, doesn't store the money. The money's not on a ledger. CCIP allows any blockchain to talk to each other. So it doesn't matter if whatever blockchain you're using, you can talk to this other blockchain that this other country is using the same protocol to send value back and forth. Where XRP, you have to use XRP as your ledger, as where your unit of account. You have to use XRP, where that's been kind of tough because most banks want to use their own thing. They don't want to be locked into XRP.
Okay, so and that kind of brings us to like the difference here, which I think we need to get into, honestly, talking about XRP, is XRP is a public blockchain, But these central banks, right? These institutions in other countries, they want their own private blockchains. They don't want to adopt XRP. They don't want to, and Chainlink is not a blockchain. So they're not adopting Chainlink as a blockchain. They're using their own private blockchains, correct? And a Chainlink allows them, kind of explain how they don't want, and this is all in the research, they don't want to use their own, they want to use their own blockchains for specific reasons. They're private, right? We don't have access. We can't see what they're doing. So XRP, it's like you got to bet that they're going to adopt XRP. They're not. They've said they're not. But what does Chainlink do versus in that situation where they're making their own private blockchains? How does Chainlink still thrive in that environment?
Yeah, because no matter what blockchain they go with, whether it's Ethereum or Solana or their own private blockchain, like you saw Hyperledger Fabric, that's your own private blockchain. You still want to transact and get liquidity across the world, right? You want whatever asset you make on that blockchain, whether it's a real world asset like Australia is doing with their coral reefs, or it's houses, or it's bonds. You want liquidity from across the world, whether that's from America or whether that's from the UK. You want liquidity, and that means other people's blockchains, that liquidity needs to come onto your blockchain. With XRP, everyone has to be using XRP for that to work. Everyone would need to be all using XRP. But with Chainlink, you can say, right, I don't care what blockchain you're using. You can use Ethereum, and I'm using my own private blockchain. I'm going to use CCIP because CCIP can interface. It can talk to your blockchain, and it can talk to my blockchain. So I just send a message, send an amount, and CCIP will go ahead and translate that value to the destination blockchain, where I get that liquidity. I get that interaction that I want for my assets. The whole point of having a blockchain is to create CBDCs, tokenized bonds, tokenized real world assets. Now that liquidity is open to the rest of the world, and that's what CCIP enables.
Okay, that makes sense. So difference between the Chainlink, it's not a blockchain, the Chainlink technology and Ethereum here, because again, a lot of people are Bitcoin maxis, XRP maxis, Ethereum maxis. Chainlink is neutral towards these. So what is the difference between Chainlink and Ethereum?
Yeah, so Ethereum allows for programmable money on a blockchain, meaning you can make the concept of a smart contract. You can write code on Ethereum to do custom things, like trading is one thing on Uniswap that people have seen. Yield you can do on Ethereum. You can write code into a blockchain, meaning that just like Bitcoin, there you can send money back and forth, but now I can have custom rules and custom actions on that blockchain that allow you to make applications on top of the blockchain. And it's kind of confusing, but basically allows you to make apps on a blockchain. That's a simple way to say it. Allows you to make decentralized apps within that blockchain. Where Chainlink, on the other hand, allows you to make decentralized apps, but you want those apps to talk to the real world. You want your apps to talk to your own bank account. You want those apps to talk to data that's in the real world. Your location, I think of DoorDash and Uber. Uber sees your location and goes and picks you up. DoorDash, you can talk to a real world restaurant. With Ethereum, you can make an app, but it can only talk to Ethereum itself. It can't talk to the real world. Chainlink allows you to get data from the real world to make your decentralized app on Ethereum. So that's kind of like the difference in the two, is where Ethereum allows you to make any app, but it's siloed to the Ethereum blockchain. You can only talk to other Ethereum apps. You can only talk to the ledger that's on Ethereum, where Chainlink allows you to go out and go talk to anything in the world and bring that data back on chain. They call it a hybrid smart contract, meaning you can talk to, I don't know, make an app where you can see your YouTube playlist, and based on your YouTube playlist, you get paid. That use Chainlink because it needs to talk to YouTube, but right now you can do that.
So Ethereum, you could think of Ethereum. Tell me if I'm wrong. So Ethereum's kind of like more of a platform that allows you to create stuff. But the silo thing is, it's like if you're on, let's say you're using Instagram, you can't necessarily message somebody on Twitter, because they're siloed chains, right? Well, they're not really chains, but they're siloed. What would you call them? Siloed websites or
the apps? Yeah, they're just siloed apps. The app can,
they're siloed apps.
The DMs, right? People can only DM on Instagram. They can't DM on Twitter. Can't DM on TikTok. It's all siloed with each other. So
it's all siloed. And Chainlink is kind of that technology that is new. So it kind of inserts. They all adopt it for reasons that they, that we've gone over, that we'll talk about, but they adopt it. Now you can DM from any platform to any platform without creating something that's already there. You just plug it in, correct?
Yeah, it's a protocol that allows you to talk to anybody. Think of cell phones. Like an iPhone can call a Samsung, which can call, a Droid, which can call Huawei. We can call each other because we're using the same protocol, no matter the vendor. It allows us to talk messaging, text messaging, no matter what phone you have, we can all talk to each other because we're using the same protocol at the end of the day to talk to each other. And Chainlink is the same thing. If everyone's using the same Chainlink protocol, CCIP, then any application, any blockchain can all talk to each other and all operate with each other because we're using the underlying protocol and we're using that standard regardless of the underlying technology or blockchain or whatever, or app. It allows that.
And see, that's why this is so bullish in my view, just thinking about it. Is you're actually owning the protocol, right? You're not owning just T-Mobile, you're not owning just Verizon, you're owning the technology that they use, that they have to use every single day to actually make their company or their business actually function. You own that. And we've never had access to actually own stuff. We've only been able to use it, right? We've only been able to use it where Bitcoin is not necessarily a technology that banks are using. It's more like a collateral. The way I think of Bitcoin. Bitcoin's more collateral. It's more like gold. It's more like a U.S. Treasury bond. Yeah. It can't be deflated. It can't really be, it's a scarce asset. It's a digital scarce asset, but it doesn't do all these things. It doesn't allow you to connect to other people. You just want to hold it because it's it's scarce. And Ethereum's a platform that enables applications to be built. And I'm trying to simplify this for the audience, but it's it doesn't compete with Bitcoin. They're not really competing. XRP is more like Swift, a payments method. I think XRP is a little more, I know the XRP guys are going to be pissed off, but how much does Chainlink CCIP threaten XRP's existence? I guess scale or scalability.
It's not even that it threatens XRP's existence. It's just XRP's use case. Everyone adopting the XRP ledger. Banks don't want to do it. The world governments don't want to do that. They don't want to adopt a ledger where they store their assets on and where they settle on, where when you pull out of your bank account, it has to go to XRP and transact on the XRP blockchain. It's just not a use case that banks want. So Chainlink is a whole different thing where it's just allowing any XRP, even if Chainlink didn't exist, it's not like XRP would thrive without Chainlink. They would have just waited for a new technology, or they would have developed their own protocol to interoperate with each other. So it's just the use case of everyone using the XRP ledger is just something banks aren't looking for. They just haven't. It hasn't been something that they want. They want to use their own.
Okay, now talking about use cases here, right? This is important for crypto projects. A lot of people get sucked into all these projects. Some of them are trades, but some of them people are really trying to invest in. Do you think Chainlink has the biggest use case in all of crypto? How would you quantify that use case? Do you think it has the biggest use case? And we're going to look at these other cryptos also.
Yeah, I definitely think it does, because the market it's working with right now is in the trillions, where every transaction, all the money sent in the world is trillions of dollars, what the DLT does in securities. So I think Chainlink is attacking that market, which is the biggest use case, sending value back and forth in interacting with a security or a real world asset. That just has the most, to me, that's the most value in the world, right? Real estate is the biggest in the world. Once that becomes tokenized, they're going to be using Chainlink for the real world use case. So that to me is the biggest opportunity. Does that mean it's going to have the most value and be the biggest crypto by market cap? I don't know, because Bitcoin, everyone could own Bitcoin through their, what is it that they're dealing with right now? The ETF.
Oh, so the ETF, yeah. Yeah, we're not even challenging Bitcoin's market cap here, but the rate, the growth rate, I think the growth rate is where people really have to look at, is the growth rate, because Bitcoin's not going to grow at the same rate as it did. It's not going to do a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50x because it's already pretty big. And I know maxis will argue that, but it's not going to happen soon. You get the ETF, Bitcoin's going to be huge. Ethereum's going to outperform Bitcoin. Now, when it comes to these other technology, this is the use case that I want you to kind of talk through to the audience, how where the real use case is, like Tether, right? If we're looking at stablecoin, I mean, we'll get into stablecoins. Well, stablecoin isn't really an investment. It's more so like an infrastructure, right? Where people transact through. But let's go through some of these top coins. Chainlink right now is number 19, and we believe this thing is going to climb. Look at this thing is still moving. Wait till we get to the technicals. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to hit the technicals on Chainlink. It is outpacing every other crypto in the top 50. It's not even close right now. I'm watching all the technicals, and it's really not close. And this is why the tokenization use case, it keeps moving up. So let's start with, we know Bitcoin store value use case, right? Most decentralized, scarcest asset. Ethereum is a platform to build all decentralized Web3 XYZ. Binance, what the hell is the use case for Binance?
So Binance, BNB coin, all it is a fork of Ethereum that Binance owns. So it's the same exact code as Ethereum, except they say they're faster than Ethereum and they interact with all the Binance. You get rewards on Binance for using BNB. You get to interact with their ecosystem and their company for using Binance, for using BNB. So basically it's a fork of Ethereum. It's just smart contracts. It's just a smart contract that's faster than Ethereum. But it has the benefit that it interacts with the Binance company. So you get benefits, for using it. Maybe that's 50% off, or you get like rewards of, they give you free crypto. All it is a fork of Ethereum. That's all it is at the end of the day. It's nothing.
Yeah. BNB trash. You gotta trust the Chinese guys. I don't think so. CPI, not CPI, my bad. What is it? The CCP? Chinese.
Yeah, it's not in China. It's not based in China, but yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing where it's not regulated. They're doing their own thing. They made it themselves. It's like super centralized. Like it's definitely not decentralized at all. All the nodes are owned. All the nodes that run it are all owned by Binance.
We already went over XRP. USD coin is not a investment. It's a damn stable coin. Dogecoin. What the hell is the use case for Dogecoin? Break it down. How Dogecoin is. I want you to go real though. Tell the audience Dogecoin is not a good investment. Tell them why.
Yeah, Dogecoin has an infinite market cap. So if the developers want, they can just print more Dogecoin whenever they want. So let's say you decide to use Dogecoin. You're like, oh, this is going to be in the future. The protocol, they could print unlimited Dogecoin as much as they wanted. So they can inflate it into infinity. And like 90% of the Dogecoin is owned by like 20 people. So if they dump their Dogecoin, you're pretty much screwed. The main reason Dogecoin has value is literally because of Elon Musk, because he's talked about it, using it. He's talked about using it with Twitter. So that's like the number one thing the people are speculating on is that, or X, that Dogecoin is going to be integrated with X. And so that's why people are throwing money into it. But as it stands right now, they would need to create a new coin to give those guarantees that Bitcoin and Ethereum have. It doesn't have smart contracts. It's literally just a fork of Bitcoin that can go to infinity. It's a meme. So you're very much, you have to be very risky to throw money in that, because it's
Dogecoin, bro. They can just pull the plug from you on Dogecoin. 20 people use it. There's no use case other than Elon Musk pumping the coin. I love Elon Musk, but I think he's making a huge mistake trying to pump Dogecoin. Maybe he pulls it off. He pulls off a lot of stuff. How about Cardano, as they call it? Cardano. What is the use case for Cardano? Because we think, again, Chainlink is going to be more valuable than all of these coins. It's going to climb the ladder. Mark my words. If I'm wrong, you can make fun of me. So Cardano, what the hell is this?
Yeah, Cardano is just another layer one, just like it allows for smart contracts to be built on it, allows you to make decentralized apps. Its thing is that it's faster than Ethereum. It's faster and better than Ethereum, has better guarantees. It can scale better. The founder is he worked on Ethereum. He created Ethereum and left because of the fork. Because they reverted some things, and he went and created Cardano. He's all big on code is law. Like, hey, the code is law. The code should dictate law. But I mean, I don't really agree with that. And I think all it is just another Ethereum, another layer one that like Ethereum we can do smart contracts on. But no one's using it right now because it's been in development for like the past 5 years. So there's not any real applications on it. And it will also need an oracle for it to interact with the outside world. If Cardano thrives, it would also need an oracle. So if you love Cardano, the use case for Chainlink is still there because they need an oracle.
See that if you invest in XRP or Ethereum or Cardano, you're still getting value from Chainlink because they're all using Chainlink. So that's why we're still bullish on Chainlink. So Cardano, nobody's using it. It's like MySpace. You want to invest in MySpace? Good luck. Solana. I know people love Solana. Even my favorite, Raul Paul loves Solano. I'm gonna call it Solano, Ronnie, for you. Solana. What's up with Solana? Why does everybody love it? Why is it not that? Why is it not all that?
Solana has some, basically it's like 1,000 times faster than Ethereum. The use case for Solana is little transactions. Think of video games. Like every single time you shoot a bullet, You know, you have every time you shoot a bullet, it's put on the Solana blockchain for your bullets, or all those small little things. Solana is good at. It can put all those transactions and throw them on the blockchain really, really fast. The problem is you need to have custom hardware to run Solana. Not anyone could run a Solana node. You need actual custom hardware, and it's super centralized. When AWS went down last year, Solana went down also. It's really centralized. You know, it runs mostly off of AWS. And its main thing is speed and all of those small transactions. Where Ethereum, you can move a billion, and you know, you maybe got to wait 30 minutes, but it's there. Solana, it's for like those $1 transactions, those $5 transactions, those little micro transactions on video games, or you know, just little things like that. That's what it's good at. But the main thing is Ethereum has layer 2s that do the same thing. So are you going to go into the Solana ecosystem? If you use layer 2s, you have all the benefit of Ethereum and you have the speed. So that's really what Solana is big on, but it's really very centralized though, and needs custom hardware.
So it sounds like it's just the total addressable market. They don't have the biggest total addressable market because their use cases kind of just run out of steam at some point, and the adoption is like, whatever. And I was also, what was I going to say? I was also going to say, okay, what if Amazon AWS goes down? Does that mean Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Chainlink go down?
No, because those ones are they're distributed across the world, so they're not all mostly running on the cloud. So if the cloud goes down,
you hear that?
Ethereum's still running.
You guys hear that? If Amazon if a centralized entity goes down, Bitcoin does not, Ethereum does not. Solana does. Solana's too centralized, they go down. Whatever. Okay, next track.
It's because it has gone down. Like it's not even it has gone down when
it did go
yeah,
down.
when there's outages in it, you can Google Solana outages and you'll see all the outages.
Okay, how about Tone Coin? Yeah.
Effects from Ethereum. Ethereum has the network effects, it has the adoption. If you move to Solana, you lose all that adoption and network effects, that engineering, that expertise. So that's like one of the main things. But go ahead.
Exactly. Dimaj, exactly. Dimaj, I'm gonna convert you out of that Cardano or Cardano. I'm gonna get you out of that, man. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, can Bitcoin 10x? Yes, it'll just be tough. It'll be tough for a 10x at Bitcoin. From here, it could 10x. It's going to be a lot tougher. It's not going to just pump 200%, where Chainlink is literally up like 50% right now. Something like that from the last week. I don't know. You guys know I've been talking about it. Okay, this Tone Coin. We're going through all the coins for you. I want to give you guys a comprehensive understanding of how Chainlink stands against the other coins and why the opportunity, the total addressable market, is much bigger, and the World Economic Forum is adopting it. They're not adopting BNB coin, XRP, Dogecoin, Cardano, Solana. They're not doing it. What the hell is Tone Coin? What is this?
So Telegram, it's a coin built for Telegram. So basically it's another ledger, just like Bitcoin. I don't know what it's forked off of, but it's a native currency for Telegram. You can send money back and forth on the Telegram app. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know if it may be built on the Ethereum network, but that's all it is. It's just a coin that works with Telegram. People use Telegram to chat, you know, a lot of like a Twitter. It's kind of like a Twitter, but that's basically all it is.
What about this Tron crap? Look at Tron pumped. I heard it pumped 100x on its ICO, and then just it went 100x. That's insane. These freaking scams. What is Tron?
So Tron's like another, it's like Ethereum. It allows for smart contracts and the like. The thing about Tron, like give Tron its credit, it's made by Justin Sun. He's been sketchy for a while, but the main benefit of Tron is I think it had the most Bitcoin value in the world. Most Bitcoin was moved via the Tron blockchain, and I think as it's USDC, Tether uses Tron under the hood. For their Bitcoin, they use Tron, but all it is just another smart contract platform. You know, it's faster than Ethereum, does the same things as Cardano. It's just a different team. You know, I'm not really big on it, but some projects are using it.
Okay, some product. Okay, that's Tron. Great. DAI, another stable coin. Polkadot. These are interesting. Polkadot, Polygon. Look, we're almost at Chainlink. We're almost there. Polkadot. What the hell is Polkadot? What's it doing? What's the total? What is it solving?
It's solving the same thing Ethereum does, smart contracts. It has a concept called parachains, meaning that you can have sub blockchains within the Polygon ecosystem where you can make your own blockchain for your given app. So like I make an app, I can have my own blockchain within an app that runs off of the Polkadot ecosystem. It's called side chains. Hasn't really picked up. People just want to use layer 2s. So that was their thing for speed. Hey, we're like Ethereum. We do smart contracts, but we have parachains. This makes us faster. But it's like no one wants to deal with all that overhead. It's too complicated. So they'd rather just use layer 2s, which is the one right below it, which is the top layer 2 on the list.
Polygon.
Yeah, Polygon's a layer 2 on Ethereum. It's settlement layer. It's Ethereum. So every transaction that happens on Polygon, I don't know if it's by rollups, but all that value eventually accrues to the Ethereum blockchain. Speed, just like Solana, gives you that speed, that fast, those fast actions back and forth, like video games, if you want any of that. But you don't have to use the Ethereum blockchain. You can use Polygon, and the underlying blockchain is Ethereum. So you don't have to leave the Ethereum ecosystem. It's the same code, same standards. And it's just a faster network on top of Ethereum. You're taking some more risk by using them. Just like Coinbase, we use Coinbase to buy crypto. We don't use the blockchain itself because you don't want to deal with all of that under the overhead. Same thing with the layer 2. You don't want to deal with the Ethereum blockchain, so you just use Polygon for the speed.
Okay, and eventually, isn't it that Ethereum, when it finally scales, like it's going to eliminate a lot of these use cases because it will do what they do, correct?
Yeah. Vitalik's vision is you won't even need layer 2s because Ethereum will have all the speed. So Polygon and all these layer 2s are trying to come up with value that their blockchain could do that Ethereum can't. Like rewards, some yield is like a big one. Yield and rewards are like, hey, we provide these yield and rewards if you use us. Ethereum gives 4% yield, we give 7% yield if you use us. So they're trying to give benefits that are outside of Ethereum to use them. But at the end of the day, Ethereum's goal is to not have to need layer 2s. You can do it all on Ethereum itself.
Okay, so next, Litecoin, just another copy of Bitcoin. I mean, it's just faster, right?
Faster Bitcoin. It allows more data like to be transferred in the Litecoin specification. It's a fork of Bitcoin. It is Bitcoin another basically, fork. But it has more features, more data. All the things Bitcoin can't do, Litecoin adds some more features.
But is it safer?
If security is built on the number of nodes in a network, no, because it's not as decentralized and has as many nodes as Bitcoin. So by that definition, it's not safer.
Yeah, gun to your head, who do you choose, Bitcoin or Litecoin?
Oh yeah, I'm going with Bitcoin. Going with
Bitcoin, yeah. So these are all Shiba coin. I mean, let's just get Shiba coin. This is a meme coin. There's no use case here, guys.
Another meme coin. People like the name. People like to buy memes. I mean, I think there's people in the stock. People like to go to casinos, so it's a gamble. You throw money in it and you hope it goes up.
Gamble, yeah. Hey, if you want to trade it and get lucky, go for it. But it's not it's definitely not. Now, Bitcoin Cash, another copy. Look, pretty much all these, other than Bitcoin, Ethereum, right? Tether's a stablecoin. BNB, okay, you got to trust the CCP. China, I don't think so. XRP, sorry, no central banks want to adopt this the ledger for XRP. Sorry, it's just not happening. They're gonna do their own blockchains. Dogecoin, meme, Cardano, nobody's working on it. Solana, it doesn't do much. It's gonna get solved some other way. It probably goes higher. Don't get me wrong, these coins go up, but we're talking over the long haul. A lot of them get eliminated. 98% of coins go to zero. Don't even remember what that is. Tron doesn't do much, not a big use case. Polkadot, these are all copies of Ethereum or Bitcoin. These are all copies of Bitcoin or Ethereum or meme coins or stable coins. Chainlink is very unique. Nothing on this list is even close to what Chainlink is doing. It's not even, their use case goes across the traditional finance, crypto. It's the most widely used crypto. And it also is being adopted by the Swift network, by the big players. So that is the difference there for Chainlink. Going to the next part, if Bitcoin fails, okay, if Bitcoin fails and Ethereum fails, can Chainlink still survive?
Oh, definitely, because look at the use case right now. CCIP is talking blockchain to blockchain. So if those fail and each bank is using its own private blockchains, they still use CCIP to transact. If Bitcoin, Ethereum fail and Cardano succeeds, they use Chainlink as the oracle. Solana succeeds, they use Chainlink as the oracle. Avalanche succeeds, Chainlink as the oracle. So it's not dependent on those major players. It can be used outside of those. Where it succeeds if digital currencies succeed, then Chainlink succeeds. That's what it's built on. Is if digitization of money succeeds, Chainlink succeeds. So
right, if CBDCs succeeds, CBDC, central bank digital currency, succeed. If tokenization succeeds, Chainlink succeeds. Right, it doesn't need Bitcoin, Ethereum, which is another huge use case. You can wipe out crypto, and they're still used because it's the underlying technology that is transformational. Now, what is an oracle? For some people, they probably know what is an oracle. What do we have? 40 minutes to mark that. What is an oracle?
Yeah. So an oracle, all it does is it allows you to get data from the real world and prove the data on a ledger, on a blockchain. So it can prove data about anything in the outside world and give it to a blockchain, and the blockchain could use that to do anything. Blockchains, again, cannot talk to the real world. Blockchains don't have the ability to do that because that's the whole point of a blockchain is it's siloed. It doesn't rely on outside data. So it needs an oracle, a truth, something to tell it the truth about the world. And an oracle does is it gets data about the real world and reports it to the blockchain. It says, here's data at a given time. Do what you want with it. And that's what oracles do. I mean, you guys seen the Matrix. I don't know if you remember the oracle on the Matrix. She was the one who said about the Matrix and how the system works. And, she gave the truth, the revelation. And that's where we get that's like Chainlink, oracles is the same thing. You're giving truth. That's all it is truth. Oracle means truth. It tells the truth about the world to a blockchain, which does not know the truth. That is the job of Oracle. CCIP, all it does is tell the truth about one message from one party to another. It says they sent this. This is the truth of what they sent. Here you go. And that party takes that truth and does what they want with it. And that's what an oracle
we're not
is.
talking about an oracle priest. Okay. We're not talking about the priest where they can, where they use, language and manipulation to tell you what God says. The messenger, right? The oracle is the messenger, but messengers can lie. The difference here is this messenger is backed by mathematics and cryptographically secured technology. It's proof. It's what is it? What do they call it? Tamper proof technology. So it's backed by math. So that's what makes CCIP unique. Is Chainlink, and this is again, Chainlink is it a blockchain or is it just pure infrastructure again? Because again, I know people are confused. Blockchain, crypto. This is blockchain technology. Can you kind of explain how it's not a blockchain, how it's purely tech infrastructure through CCIP?
Yeah. So it's not a ledger. So it doesn't record value. It doesn't record money back and forth. It's infrastructure in the fact that it still uses decentralized technology, a decentralized network to say those truths. So we talk about how it's reporting truth. It uses a decentralized network of computers to report that truth. That's what the Oracle network is, and that's what differs it from Bitcoin or Ethereum. Ethereum, Bitcoin, they like on an Excel spreadsheet, they put the money. There's this value, here's this value. This person sent this. Chainlink doesn't work that way. It doesn't work. It's not a spreadsheet, decentralized spreadsheet. It's a decentralized group of computers that decide on the truth, that all work together, decentralized, and decide, okay, this is what it is. This is the price of a given stock at a given time. And that decentralized network reports that, and they aggregate it, and they give it to a blockchain or decentralized network. So it's just a group of computers that tell the truth.
Is there a name for that other than... Because if it's not classified as a blockchain, because it's so similar, right? Is there a name for that, or is it just kind of like...
Chainlink calls it DAWNs. That's the name. Decentralized Oracle Network. You'll hear Dawn. If you look up Chainlink Dawn or Google Dawn, that's like the good name for it. It just stands for Decentralized Oracle Network. Just decentralized group of computers that tell the truth. That's literally what it
this is why I have my brother here, because I don't know what the hell this... I don't know Google Dawn. What the heck? I'm just like blockchain technology, right? So again, it's not a blockchain. It's very similar, but it's a new technology. This is why I'm like, hey, this is a great opportunity. Probably the biggest I've seen, as long as they continue to develop. But look, you're getting backed by Swift. Like I said, you're getting backed by the World Economic Forum. I mean, you can't lose there unless you're stupid, but you got to stay tuned. All right. So what is a blockchain? So again, what is a blockchain? Like, simplify what is a blockchain and the difference between the private and public, because a lot of people, when they think crypto, they're thinking blockchain, but there is other blockchains that are private also. Can you kind of like explain what a blockchain is and why there's public and why there's private? Why is there two different types?
Yeah, a blockchain, all it is like a Excel spreadsheet that's shared across hundreds of computers, and they all have that same Excel spreadsheet. And if that Excel spreadsheet gets updated, it gets updated across thousands of computers all at the same time. So no one is the single entity who says this is the value of this Excel spreadsheet. They're all in consensus. They all come to agreement that Excel spreadsheet has a given value. That's a public blockchain. Everyone's used LimeWire. Do you remember LimeWire? When you
I remember downloading music. Yep.
Yeah, so LimeWire wasn't a company where you get the music from. You're actually downloading that music from a group of computers who one computer downloaded the music, and then that music was replicated across thousands of computers. So you were downloading it from a random computer. You weren't downloading it from a company. And that's how Lime is decentralized. It's not owned by a single entity. And that's how crypto, it's money that's not owned by a single entity. It's just a group of computers who come to agreement on value. And it's public, meaning anyone can interact with it. Anyone could buy from Bitcoin. Anyone could buy from Ethereum. Anyone could work with it. It's not, no one owns it. We're a private blockchain, the same concept. It's a group of computers that decide on a value of some sort, but not anyone can interact with it. Only banks who own it can interact with it. They don't open it up for me and you to go and, get money from it and get value from it. It's all privatized. It's all owned by them, but it still uses decentralized technology, uses cryptographic truth. It's their cryptographic truth. They're the ones running it. They run the nodes, but it's still using the cryptographic truth at the end of the day. You can think of BNB, how we talked about BNB. That's like a private blockchain that's open up to everybody. They own the nodes. They own the code. It's private. It's run by BNB, but they allow it to be open and interacted by anybody. A private blockchain would just be if BNB said, no, only we can interact with it, no one else. And that's what a private blockchain is. It's just owned by the company, but it still uses the cryptographic technology and the distributed ledger technology. It's just owned by them. It's kind of confusing, but that's like the main thing is it's not open to the public.
So this old thesis of like, okay, all banks will transact on the blockchain. Of course, we know that's coming true, but everybody thought it was going to be crypto, right? Who's going to adopt the crypto? Why is it that these central banks, these centralized authorities want to keep private? Why is it that they don't want to just trust decentralized blockchains? Why is it that they want to use CCIP with their private versus trying to create, jump into crypto?
Because banking is messy. It's not as simple as like there's all kinds of disputes, right? Like think of a bank, someone hacks you and you have to go to the bank and tell them, no, this situation happened. Or like you're trying to get vetted for a loan, or it's not is just you go on the computer and you just press a button and banking works. It's a lot of there's a lot of things that can go wrong and a lot of things that go sideways. And they want the ability to revert changes, to add changes, to amend things. With the blockchain, you can't do that. And once it goes in Ethereum or Bitcoin, it's there forever. You can't change anything. Someone messes up, fudges up an address and sends $1 billion, that money's sent. They can't get it back. On their private blockchain, if someone messes up, they can go and revert it and say, oh, this was an accident. Let's undo this change to get this money back. So there's so much risks in there. Think of if a bank, someone messes up a number, writes bad code, and sends half of their value to a address. And it's like their whole business is thousands of years.
You get a financial collapse, right?
Yeah. Hundreds of years of work can be lost. Hundreds of years of them building that bank could be gone because of a bug or a mess up. And I think they're just not risk averse for that. They don't have the tolerance for that, where they want to they still want the technology. They want technology, a distributed ledger, but they don't want the risks that can go wrong with it. The hacks, right? Let's say they work with Solana. Solana's hacked. Half of their stuff is gone. I think they just don't want those risks, and banks are very risk averse. They don't want that. So they want to use their own private blockchains to do real world assets, to do yield, to do all those things, bonds, tokenized CBDCs. They don't want to use a public because the risks are just too high. If something goes wrong, they can't get their money back. They just got to ask. Hopefully they get their money back. So I think that's why they're going on the private side.
And they don't want to build their own CCIP because it just takes too long. I've heard something like that. It's just too complicated.
Yeah, because they would need to build their own interoperability protocol to interact with every single blockchain in the world. So they would need, if Australia builds their own, they need to write code that interacts with America's private, with China's private, Russia's private, Japan's private blockchain, Ethereum. So they would need to write integrations with every single type of bank or blockchain out there, which is something you don't want to do. Just like we use the phone analogy, like if there wasn't a phone protocol, Apple would need to write code to interact with every single type of phone for the past 1,000. Every time a new phone comes out, they got to write code and test it, put a bunch of effort on there, millions in engineering work to get that phone to work with this new phone. But since they all use the same protocol, once a new phone's built, it uses that protocol, boom, we can talk to each other. So it's just a massive investment to think of every single use case for that can come to talk to these blockchains. They'd rather just use a protocol, a single protocol to talk to each other, rather than having to integrate with. That's how the internet works, right? The internet uses TCP/IP. I know, who cares what that means, but all websites can talk to each other because they all use that protocol. They all agreed on it. If they decide to use their own protocol, then website A can't talk to website B. And that would be a problem. We wouldn't have the internet as we know it. So protocols are very important because it allows you to just do something once and you can talk to the rest of the world. And so that's kind of the main reason.
Okay. And that kind of takes us to, what do we got? 50. I want to make sure I timestamp these. The transition between, how would you describe the transition between Web 1, Web 2, Web 3? It's very confusing for people. And I want to, kind of simplify it. This is like an outline model of it. How would you explain it from a software engineer standpoint, Web 1 to Web 2, and then now we're entering like this Web 3 world?
Yeah, so Web 1, think of Wikipedia. In 1996 to 2004, you go on a website and you just read information. You could read, you can click on things, you can learn about the world. Someone could put their research paper, someone could put information, their addresses online. Allows you to just look at information. You read it, just like Wikipedia. Wikipedia, would work in 1996, 2004. You're just reading information. And that's what Web 1 was huge. Now we can learn anything online. Then we go to Web 2. Web 2 allows you to create accounts online. It allows you to watch videos online. It allows you to transact money online. It allows you to Facebook, create social networks so you can connect with friends. It basically allows you to create accounts. It allows you to sign up for things. It allows you to e-commerce, allows you to buy things online. So it basically didn't allow you to read things. Now you can interact with the world. You can interact and, like someone's post or add them as a friend or buy something. That's what Web 2 did. Email ID, usernames, DoorDash comes from that, Uber comes from that, Robinhood all comes from the Web 2. You can create accounts, interact with things. Then we go into the Web 3, where after Web 2, we learned that all that data we're doing, all that sign-ups, buying things, all that data is going to like 5 companies, the FANG, top of FANG. All of that information is just being consolidated to 5 companies with all of that Web 2 stuff. What Web 3 does is it allows that value to come back to us rather than all that value and data going to 5 single companies. Now all that information, all of that data, all of that liking things, buying things, interacting with things, it all comes back to the user now and not one single entity. So all that trillions of dollars of Amazon, the trillions of dollars of Microsoft and of Apple, with Web 3, it allows you to build applications online where the value comes back to you. Which is amazing. Think about every single time you watch an ad on YouTube, you get collect value. Think about every single time you listen to a song, you collect value, and it comes back to you because it's not going to a company, it's going to the network. And if you're a part of that network, you get value from it. And that's what it allows you to do. It allows you to collect the value that was going previously to these big companies. It comes back to you because you join in the network. Which is really cool. There's been some proof of concepts of this idea and how it'll work. Friends.tech, you heard of Friends.tech?
No.
It's a new social media app where someone could sign up and you can be a follower of a person. You follow them, and when you follow them, you pay money to follow them. But if that person's social status goes up, they increase in followers, increase in likes, the value of your ownership of being their friend goes up. So you're actually making money by following a famous person, which is a crazy idea, right? So imagine Elon Musk joins Twitter, or someone you don't know joins Twitter, and they blow up, and you just like them in the beginning. They blow up, their value of their account goes up, and you are a friend. You are a part of them. Your value, you earn money from them blowing up, which is crazy.
So you can cash out. You're like, all right, I'm out.
Yeah, right. It allows you to take part in the money, because normally the money's going to X.com because you're following Elon Musk. He blows up. They're getting ad revenue. Goes to Meta. Yeah, it's Spotify. You'd see an artist you like, they're small. You're like, oh, I love this person. And they blow up and they start getting popular. Well, you took part in their music early. You own a part of their network. As it blows up, you collect the value rather than just Spotify. So those are these new use cases that, these are a couple of new use cases that are coming with Web3, where we get to take part in the value. Everyone could relate to a YouTuber they saw, a small YouTuber they saw when they had 10,000 followers. Now they're at millions. Like, imagine you earned from that just because you knew that they were going to be big. So that's kind of like the Web3 concept, just a little piece of it.
So now we're kind of dipping out of finance. It's like the value of everything, right? Which still flows through Chainlink to some degree. I mean, we'll wait and see how it goes. But Web 1 was you're a tourist, you can only read, you can just look at it, you're reading it, you're not really interacting. Web 2, you can interact, but you don't own anything. You're just interacting, right? And you read and write. Web 3, you actually own, you can take ownership part in the network, how the networks work, monetize, totally different world there. And again, my bet is, hey, once we get to the internet of value movement, that's going to be a lot heavily weighted on how this cross-chain interoperability technology actually works. And that kind of brings us to the next slide I wanted to look at, which is the concept of what the big technology concepts here are. What do you see? Decentralized identity, right? That's the big one that I know people are going to love as a social tokens. You guys heard about social tokens. I'm guessing this has something to do with decentralizing your identity, being able to leverage the blockchain to enable data privacy, and then now insert yourself inside of an ecosystem and monetize yourself. Does that, does that make sense?
Yeah. So with decentralized identity, you don't need to put yourself out there. Your identity is tied to you. Like, you go to apply for a loan, they don't need to know all your financial details and where you come from. It's decentralized. They just get the data, but they don't need to know it belongs to you. So right now, anyone could be doxxed, any of their information. All these companies own your information. They can get the information without knowing you. It allows you to only give the information about yourself on a need to know basis. It says it right there. But like going to a club, you show someone your ID, you can scan your phone, and it sees that you're over 21, and they don't know your name or your information, your address. When someone looks at your ID, they see all this information about you. Anyone could just see your ID and know who you are and start looking you up. With this, you don't need to do any of that. You show them just one value, and it check marks. Yep, that person is who they say they are. So it allows you to decentralize yourself from the world. No one needs to know everything about you. They just need to know, oh, you are 21. It allows you to know, oh, you did have good, your credit score is good, even though the company doesn't need to download all your credit history and they don't know all this stuff about you. They can just get the data and not know it belongs to you. So it allows you to interact with the world with only giving the data and not information about yourself, which is really cool.
And that's all used through, right? Zero knowledge proofs, being able to verify without giving up your data.
Yes. Yeah. Zero knowledge proofs are going to be one of the big technologies. Basically, zero knowledge proofs allow you, it says it in there, it allows you to say something about yourself without the other party knowing it's you. So they don't know anything about you or know anything about the data. Or they just get the data. They don't know anything about the data it belongs to. You can prove something without them knowing the knowledge. Right now, a big problem with blockchains is everything you do on the blockchain is public. So if someone finds out your wallet, they know all the things you've bought, all the, the OF subscriptions you have. It's all public now. They know it all about you. That's the thing so you can connect yourself to a wallet address, but if someone finds out that wallet address, you're screwed. With those knowledge proofs, right, you can interact with the world, and that's not going to be tied back to your address or tied back to anything, because it's separated. It's proved that it belongs to you without the information being public. And that's what we want with blockchains. It's like there's no public knowledge or public information of you doing something. It's all private, but it can be proved still. It can still be proved. It's a very complicated computer science technology, but really cool thing that's coming down the pipe.
So you want to be able to verify truth because you've done the work without necessarily giving up all your privacy where somebody could screw you over.
Yeah. You apply for a loan. You go to a bank and apply for a loan. The person you're banking with, the banker, doesn't look you up and look up your credit history and look up all the other properties you've bought and says, I don't like this person. All they do is you don't give them anything about yourself. You apply online, and the proof goes and sees that it doesn't know your skin color. It doesn't know where you come from, how old you are. It just says this person has a good credit score, good credit history, approve. And they don't need to know any of that personal information. They don't need to see any of that. So it allows you to segregate who you are from what you want. And it's, again, kind of complicated, but it's one of those things that's coming.
And then secure bridges. I mean, oracles, we talked about secure bridges. I'm guessing is some part of kind of what CCIP is, right? You're securing bridges to interoperate with other systems, because it's kind of like, there's silos everywhere. You're trying to connect them, but I think we kind of went over that. So I wanted to look at really quick before we get to the AI question is basically what is the total addressable market? Because again, you want to make you're looking for value. You're looking to own something that nobody else owns here. And this is from Citigroup, and they're basically showing like the use cases for these smart legal contracts in general that will need CCIP, zero knowledge proofs, bridges, oracles, XYZ, which is, you know, Chainlink's the leading technology for that. We're looking at use cases for real estate, escrow. What are escrow payments for people that don't know? Escrow payments.
Escrow payments are the payments, the money you put in a pool to like buy a house, right? Like you put money in escrow, put it aside to say like, I want to put this money aside so I can buy this house. It just goes into a pool that you use for later. So you can, you know, add that money to a house. It's mainly used in houses, but smart contracts can be used where you put the money in a smart contract, you put the money in a pool, in Ethereum smart contract, and that smart contract will hold your money based on given conditions. Like, you know, this house is built on July 30th, but if they go over the date, your money's released back into you and you get like a 5% interest because they held your money. So there's these automated ways where right now, you know, you give your money to these people and you just hope they do good with it, but you give it to the blockchain. That money can be held and it's cryptographically guaranteed to be given back to you or to be put in a certain place without you relying on a counterparty, relying on someone to not F up your money or go under. You give your escrow payment to a company, the company goes under, your money's gone. So it's just one of those things.
Okay. And then you have supply chain, insurance. I mean, pretty simple. We're not going to go dive deep into every smart contract. Now, the big question too, with AI coming up is how would AI interact with crypto, or what is that? You know, I know we're kind of looking out to the future a little bit, but how would that work out? AI and crypto, is that something that's a possibility? How would that work?
Yeah, so you can think of AI and crypto as crypto being the truth layer of a given AI model. So think of and someone's building an AI model to determine, you know, AI that would automate self-driving like Elon Musk is doing. Let's say Elon Musk wants to put that in from all the data on a public blockchain so that everyone can see what the AI model is being trained on. So there's no malicious activity. We can see, oh my gosh, it's being trained off of this public blockchain data. I know that this AI is not going to be corrupted. Like Facebook trains privately. We don't know what data they're feeding it. We don't know how they're changing the model. And, for, like the chat GPT, you say certain things. It's like, I can't tell you about that. It's, it's real political with a blockchain. You can have trained models that's using blockchain data that's public. And we know the model's not being manipulated. That's one use case. Another use case is getting the outcomes of AI think of ChatGPT. You ask ChatGPT the same question, and that data of what it's answering being reported on chain, and someone can use whatever they want with that data. I think of AI. You can make an AI, what's it called? An investment bot that uses AI, and it talks to the Bitcoin blockchain and interacts with the Bitcoin blockchain. Based off of a public model, to give you the best trade. So it's not a one-to-one integration. AI and crypto don't go together like ham and cheese. It's just, we can use it to build a more transparent future with what we do with AI. Twitter's doing that right now with their community notes. They're putting all the code out there so we know that their community notes isn't being corrupted. But in the future, perhaps we're training our AI models with public blockchain data that we know is not corrupted. And we know that the outcomes are not going to be skewed towards a political party or towards a government. It's using the blockchain at the end of the day. So it's one of those safe things. We want safe AI that's public and not owned by central entities where they can change it however they want. So it's not a clean integration, but it is there. It is something that can be used in the future. So it's just the data itself. The data to train the AI is mainly the main thing.
So Elon Musk, it's we'll see. The future is going to be pretty crazy. You just want to make sure you invest, because at the end of the day, we're trying to invest in the future. Talking about it's cool, but if you're making nothing off of it, you're getting screwed. I don't make enough. I have no savings account. I mean, what's it worth? So again, Chainlink, probably the best opportunity I've seen here. And it's going to be interesting. We're going to dive into the technicals here, but again, shout out to my brother for explaining how Chainlink works, oracles, bridges, all that stuff. Oh, did it do the shout out? I don't know. I can't hear it because I turned it off on my computer. All right,
Yeah,
cool. Hopefully it works. I had to turn it off for the echo. So yeah, we're gonna dive into the technicals. A couple things I want to look at here for the technicals are
thanks,
just the
Damaj. Appreciate it. He just said he's throwing some stuff in the comments.
Oh yeah,
so
yeah.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Dimash, for being a loyal supporter also. And here's the thing, we're going to keep up with this for you guys. When there's news coming out, now that we're kind of like on this Chainlink thing, I have a portfolio that I will be showing. I really don't want to do it, but I'm like, it'll probably bring some eyeballs. People think I'm serious. You know, you don't trust people. They just say stuff. So I'm going to show you my position. I'll be taking a screenshot, and then I'll show you exactly what my position is, so you know that I'm not full of crap. I'll let you know when I start selling. It's not financial advice. But what I wanted to point out here was the way you want to look at how Ethereum, because no matter what, you want to see how the price action is actually outpacing, you know, the other coins, right? Because it's just, here's Bitcoin. You're looking at Bitcoin here. Let's put this on the weekly time frame. All right, get into the technicals. And I'm actually going to make this a little bigger so we can see. So when you look at Bitcoin, obviously you've seen, you know, it's not going to do a crazy 20, 30, 40x the way it did. Maybe over time, who knows? But for now, it just doesn't do that. It's not the best opportunity. The way to measure this, okay, the way to measure this when it comes to Chainlink, oh, look at that nice wedge. It looks like a bear flag. The way to measure this, though, is when you go to Chainlink, you want to see, first of all, most other coins are bleeding. They're all bleeding. They've been moving lower. Well, Chainlink bottomed back in May. Okay, and it's been moving pretty much sideways. It's been moving sideways for a year and a half now, and it's starting to move higher. So this consolidation, one thing to keep in mind, the bigger the consolidation, okay, the longer the consolidation, the bigger the breakout. The longer the consolidation, the bigger the breakout. And if you go to other coins, not all of them, a lot of them are still bleeding. Not all of them, but a lot of them are still bleeding, right? They don't have the use case that Chainlink actually has. Now, I guess I put this on the wrong chart. What I wanted to really point out here was what you want to do is look at Chainlink as a price. Okay, so we're looking at the price here. We'll do some Fibonacci, but also Chainlink versus Ethereum. Okay, this is when you know the altcoin season. I don't want to call it altcoin season. The use case season, the cryptos that have a use case are going to start breaking out versus Bitcoin versus Ethereum. So we're looking at the weekly chart here. This is Chainlink versus ETH. So this is how much Chainlink is dominating or falling against Ethereum. And now you're starting to see this big wedge pattern break out. Okay, that peaked back in August of 2020. Well, I wonder why it peaked, because the World Economic Forum came out, and I just put this together. They came out with that paper, and they said Chainlink is a top 100 company that's going to change the future. Now here we are, 3 years later, price is down, 60, 70%, 80%, but Chainlink is now literally becoming the global financial, cross-chain interoperability system. It is the standard. The CCIP standard is what it will be. So now you're getting the breakout of this downtrend. Okay, we retested big support. We pulled back. Now we're testing it again. So you're getting Chainlink actually move against ETH here. You want to measure it against Ethereum and Bitcoin. Those are the big monster coins, obviously. So once we break above this level, and there's not really a number, you just want to kind of, what do you call it? You just want to like draw it on your charts, right? It's linked to ETH. I'm not going to go in. It's 1,000, 4,000ths of a cent. That's just too much words, right? You want to see it break above this level and hold. Once it holds, and look at this big candle, it's moving. The bull market for Chainlink is going to start regardless of the coins, regardless of alt season. This is in the face of the Fed, all the negativity that you hear right now. This is Link versus Bitcoin. Why? Because the narrative for tokenization, the ADX over the next 10 years, well, really 7 years is what they said, an ADX growth rate, not for Chainlink, but for the tokenized asset world, that is going to be huge, right? So you're getting movement because the catalyst is insane. The catalyst is really insane, and it's happening now. Banks are adopting it. Now, this is Link against Bitcoin. This is what you really want to see. Chainlink break out against Bitcoin. It's not there yet. It's at the top of the trend, but once you get up here and you start to hold, I mean, that's pretty much it, right? So keep your eyes on that. Those are the technicals. This is the actual Chainlink price. Now I'm watching the support, right? 499, 491. And was the bottom 490, whatever, and it's been consolidating sideways for a while. Now I'm looking for it to break above this $8 level, right? Once you get above 8, somewhere between 8 and 950, I mean 950 is the top, it's going to explode. Why is this pattern so important? Because this shows you that institutions, somebody's buying it. Somebody's buying all the dips at the bottom, and now it's starting to break out of this, versus Ethereum and Bitcoin have not been doing that. So if we move to the daily chart, we can see it's starting to lift even today. How much is it up today? From the breakout, it's up over the last couple of days, 8%, nothing crazy. But from the lows back in June, okay, it pumped 70% almost. It pumped about 70%, and then it retraced. These things move, which is why you buy them on the dip if you're trying to invest. You don't want to buy them on the rip. You want to buy it on the dip, right? Up 25%, especially if you know your coin is being backed by Swift and the World Economic Forum. So again, best opportunity here. I will keep you guys up to date with where I'm at. I'll probably go over this again a little later. If there's no new news, if there's new articles, I'll bring on Isaiah and we'll go over we'll go over like sort of the stuff that's coming online, and read through the articles. If you guys are interested, if you want to keep up with Chainlink, I know back in the day when we invested, we wanted to know like, okay, well, can you give us more details? We know we can't keep up with everything. We don't know how it works. But since we've been tracking this, I don't want to even call it a coin, this technology, for the past, 3 years? We've been tracking it for a while. So he kind of knows how to decipher it. I'm looking at price action. He's deciphering the fundamentals and the technologies, because obviously I'm not smart enough to do that. So we're going to keep you guys informed on this. Was there any Q&A, any questions before? I want to do some Q&A. Make sure you guys, make sure we answered all your questions. What up, DWIL? Before we move on here. Okay, so anyways, the technicals look great. That big base is forming. And like I said before, listen, the World Economic Forum is literally telling you what they're trying to invest in, right? Not that they're going to go pour $1 billion in Chainlink, but they're using the technology. And there's outcomes that come with that, where they have to buy the Chainlink coin. They have to integrate it. There's a lot, and we'll go over the tokenomics of it in the future. But right, today was just to give you an introduction on what Chainlink is versus the other coins. And this is big. The world will tokenize all real world assets. That's inevitable, right? That is inevitable. The world, every bank will tokenize their assets. And this is the #1 protocol enabling that to actually happen, because they want to trade cross-chain to other banks, and they're private, so they can't do it. But with CCIP, they can now do that. They're doing the experiments. The experiments are working. There's still some hurdles to get past, but this is where you get in early. This is where you win big. This is where everybody waits till it's mainstream and it's too late. Oh, Tesla, it's too late. Well, here's your chance. Am I telling you to buy Chainlink? No. But what I'm saying is, do your research. Go look at in the show notes on YouTube. We have all of the white papers for Chainlink. Go read the white papers, go through it, do your research, go through YouTube, even look up, I want you to even look up Chainlink debunked, go look up how it's trash, and then you think for yourself. You weigh the negatives, you weigh the positives, but this is the best opportunity I've seen, because the coin is not 100 billion. It hasn't been pumped yet. It's at a lower price than it was when it's lower than it was, it's back where it was 3 years ago. Right. And the technology is 10 times better, and it's only going to keep scaling. And now you get central banks, CBDs coming online for real. Right. So again, that's the pitch there. I guess you guys don't have no questions, and that's it. That's all we have for you guys. I appreciate you guys showing up. Stay blessed. Have a nice weekend. If you have extra comments, you could throw them in on the here on the YouTube stream. All right. Other than that, you guys have a good weekend. Stay blessed.
Appreciate it.
Stay blessed. Eat healthy. Work out. You guys know what it is. We'll be back on Monday. I'll be back on Monday. By the way, we have a guest on Monday on the YouTube channel. We'll have a guest on there, Josh, and we will be talking. Maybe we'll do this, more often. We'll be talking the world, the economy, right? We'll talk more. We'll go more in depth about the economy. So we're talking crypto today, and if you guys want to hear this consistently, go in depth about crypto. We can keep doing this. I just want to hear you guys actually say, "I'm interested." Right? We'll go in depth. We'll answer your questions specifically. I know there's a lot of questions, and then we'll also go over finance, right? Mortgages. When is the best time to buy a house? That's going to come on Monday. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe and you hit the notification for whenever we do come out with that YouTube video, so that you guys can listen. This guy's smart. This guy, Josh, knows what he's talking about. He's telling you how to buy a house if you have a bad credit score, if you don't have an income, if you do have an income, but your situation's kind of weird. So I would join if you guys can. Just check that out, and we'll be there on Monday. Other than that, you guys stay blessed. Appreciate you guys, and we'll catch you later.